And that's how we start tonight's episode. We welcome Miss Siphokazi Molteno George with that aria from La Clemenza Titito. And Siphokazi, say hi to everyone before we get into our beautiful conversation tonight.
Hello everyone.
Thank you very much for joining us. And everyone knows you as the current award holder for the best performance in an opera by a female for Fleur. And we know you as Romeo in I Capuleti e Montecchi, Dorabella in Così fan tutte, Cinderella in Cenerentola, and Umfazi Wesibini in Amagogra. So people know you as the lady on stage. But for people who don't know who Siphokazi is outside the stage, what would you tell them? Who is Siphokazi Molteno George?
Siphokazi Molteno George is a young woman born and bred in East London, Mdantsane. She's a daughter. She's a sister to 3 siblings. She's a God-fearing woman. She's a loving person. Yeah.
Thank you. And today we are celebrating South African women in general, and Cape Town Opera is doing a South African women in opera, and we're celebrating you as a young woman in South Africa doing good things in this genre. And my question is, while we're talking about opera, why opera? Why did you choose opera as a career when you could have chosen to be a DJ in a club, do on my piano? Why did you choose opera?
I was actually forced. I was actually forced by my high school teacher. He didn't give me a choice. My older brother, he also went to the same high school that I went to, and he was in the choir. He was in the high school choir, and when I enrolled in that high school, in the same high school, the teacher didn't give me a choice. He was like, "You're gonna sing, whether you like it or not." So yeah, and that's how I got introduced into opera. Yeah,
and then
classical music.
So from a high school being forced into the choir, what happened next?
After that, I was actually also inspired by Owen Mitsileng. I remember this one time I was sleeping, this other evening, I was sleeping at home and my brother woke me up. And there was a documentary by the Black Tie Ensemble, and Owen Mitsileng was one of the young singers, South African singers, who was talking in that documentary and telling their story about how they got exposed into opera and what opera is. And that night, actually, after listening to their stories and how they got exposed into opera, and after hearing what opera really is, that's when I told myself, you know what, I'm doing this thing. This is what I want. Like, that night really changed my life.
Lovely. So while I'm sure you've got an opera that when you watch, you go, this is the opera that I love watching. Not one where you want to sing, you know. What's your favorite opera to watch? And why?
My favorite opera is Carmen, actually. You know, it's a very beautiful opera. It's very exciting and it's also sad at the same time. And everything about it is just beautiful. The music from the orchestration and the music that is also written for all characters. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So is this you writing a letter to the stars to say, hey stars, just know that I want that role one day?
It's actually my dream role.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so is it safe to say that that is the opera that you hope to actually get the Carmen role one day?
One day, yeah. It's
lovely.
Actually my dream role, yeah.
Carmen. Okay, we'll be looking out for
Siphokazi
Molteno as Carmen. Lovely. And you know, there has been a buzz all over social media. You know, social media has been going off for the past 3 days. You know, your face has been everywhere. Now, I'm going to let you tell us what exactly is going on social media at the moment. I said to myself, I was just, you know, we want to hear it from you. So what's going on? What's happening?
So I have been accepted by the Metropolitan Opera Young Artist Program, known as the Lindemann. I'm so thrilled. You know, I'm so looking forward to my new adventure. I'm so excited.
Lovely. So everyone, you heard it from Siphokazi. She is taking off to New York at the Met as a young artist there. And you know, Siphokazi, I know you've done and you've sang in quite a lot of competitions. What I want to find out, if you had to meet a child from Sasuke right now, or one of the young ones, like young singers that want to take part in competitions, what advice would you give to them if they came to you for advice?
One of the advices that I would give them, first thing that I would say to them is they should focus. Focus is the key when you during these competitions. They should remain a humble confidence. They should maintain a humble confidence into themselves, because confidence is also one of the most important things when you go into those competitions. You can easily get distracted and you can easily get intimidated. So if they have those in I think they're okay. Also, knowing your fach is also very important, and you also have to be very smart when you pick in repertoire and seek for advice, because I believe every young singer should have a small circle of people whom they trust with their career, people that you can always run to and ask for advice and all that, you know, because we need people who have to mold us as young singers, you know, people that you trust, your voice teacher, one of your coaches. It could be like anyone that you trust, basically.
And I love how you've said that, because it then means you have a team that nurtures this, that keeps it together until a point where they can't keep it together anymore. But I love how, because everyone is watching tonight, you've got young people like that are still looking up and going, one day I want to be a Siphokazi, I want to sing opera. But I think it's quite important that they know it from high school. They know that it's really, and you know, you use the word fach. I'm not sure if everyone knows what that means. So when you use the word fach, in simple terms, what does that mean?
Knowing the type of repertoire that you should be singing, and knowing your voice, what type of voice you are.
And I asked that question for a reason, because, you know, I've attended some competitions where, you know, I can't remember, I think it was Mamu Aviva yesterday. She says it's quite important not to hurt the voice. It's quite important to nurture the voice. And you're saying the exact same thing, that it's important to know your voice so that you sing with your voice, no one else's voice, you know? And thank you for that, because I think it's quite important for someone to be sustained in this career.
True.
And, you know, you haven't been here for a very long time in this career, but I'm sure you've got highlights, Siphokazi. I'm sure you've got moments where you go, yo, yabona pa. So, what have been your highlights?
I would say winning the Fleur Cup, because I actually never expected that. Also, few encouragement awards that I've received from Glyndebourne, from Houston Grand Opera, and other places that I've been to. I would say.
So you're an international girl. Listen to you.
Oh my word, you being extra.
You're an international girl. Yes. And what challenges have you encountered as a young female singer in opera?
Yeah, I have encountered numerous challenges, but I'm gonna mention one. You know, when you're young and talented, you easily get away with like lots of things. And I've learned that investing in technique is one of the most, vocal technique is one of the most important things that a young singer should have. Invest in your technique, invest in your acting and language skills, because those are the things that I've struggled with, that I'm still working on, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if.
Okay, so acting and language has been your challenges at the moment in your career. Let's talk about Amakocha.
Yes.
About 2 months ago, you were on stage with ladies from the UCT Opera School, and you were doing an opera, Amakocha, an opera about gender-based violence. And I think it's quite important. I want to know this, because today we celebrate South African women, and we say Happy Women's Day today, and gender-based violence is still a thing. I want you to tell us, how was the process? What did the actual opera speak to you? What did it say to you? And how was it putting that opera together?
It was, I don't want to lie, it was very difficult for me to connect with the character that I was playing in that opera, because, you know, we living under difficult times. Women are getting killed each and every day, and women are being raped every day. And me as Siphokazi, the character that I was playing was a character of a woman who was very harsh, again, towards a woman who was brutalized, who was sexual harassed. And I, Siphokazi, wouldn't have done that to that woman. So for me, it was very hard to get into that character. It was so difficult. It took a lot of time for me to be able to connect into it. But yeah, towards the end, of the rehearsals, I was slowly getting into it, and it was
one of the reasons why I asked you that question, because I know the character that you played, and I think it's quite important. Again, I will refer back to Mom Aviva yesterday, saying that women should stand together.
Yes.
Women should stand together and open their voice. They should be speaking in one voice, one loud voice, to say enough is enough. And knowing that that's the character that you played. And I love the fact that you say it was difficult, because it should be difficult, because it should not be happening even in real life. But that's exactly what happens today as we live. So I hope, we may take those words of, coming together and living together. And I want to find out, what primary school did you go to in Tanzania?
Ezwelishe.
Ezwelishe, lovely.
Yes.
And at what age did you leave Ezwelishe?
Oh my word, Masi. At 9, I think it was 9.
Okay, lovely. So before I actually ask you this question, I want to find out. So when you left high school, after your choir chorus master said you're joining the choir, and then you saw Owen Metzeleng, you're like, I want to be an opera singer.
Yes.
Tell me what happened next. So where did you go from there?
Right after high school, I went to NMMU, known as UPE, and I studied music and education. But when I finished my qualification, I was like, no, there's no way I'm teaching. This isn't me. This is not me. I want to perform. I want to be an opera singer. And I enrolled at UCT, and that's where my journey began, I guess.
As a performer?
Yes.
Lovely. So, Siphokazi, going back to you, asking you about your high school, was it Zwelishe?
No, my high school.
No, sorry, your primary school.
My primary school, it was Zwelishe.
So if you had to go back to Zwelishe, to your 9-year-old self, and 9-year-old Siphokazi came to you and said, what do you think I need to know now? Something you, Siphokazi, right now know that you didn't know then. What would you tell your 9-year-old self if you had to meet her today?
Okay, little girl, you have to focus. Be patient. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry for anything. Take one step at a time. Yeah, I guess.
I'm not sure if you saw on the screen, but there has been a lot of messages coming through congratulating you on your recent success and your future endeavors, because we only wish you the best. We want to see you in the road of Carmen. We want you to take this flag high. It's not about the Molteno Georges anymore. It's really a South African flag now. So when you are on the other side of the ocean, you carry us with you. And thank you for respecting the art and for doing so well in it, and for proving yourself. I mean, there you are, sitting there as the current award holder for Best Performance in an Opera in the Theatre Cup. So Siphokazi, before I go, I'd like to wish all the ladies, all the women who are watching tonight a happy Women's Day. And before this month is over, we will announce on the Cape Town Opera page, we will have a performance by Siphokazi that she'll give to us before she goes to the mat. Thank you very much, Siphokazi, for joining us. And thank you very much, everyone. I wish you all a great evening. And thank you for being part of this 9-day series where we celebrated South African women in opera. And we hope that you learned a thing or two, because a lot has been said, a lot has been shared, experience has been shared, and tips have been shared. And if you missed any, please, they are all available online. You can just go and replay and watch them again, because there's so much that was said. There's so much that I learned just sitting here interacting with all the ladies. So everyone, have yourself a beautiful night, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so
Siphokazi.
much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Have a good evening too.
Bye.